Okay, thought we'd just take a look at what's inside the WooWee MIB Arcade robot, the self-balancing robot. As you can see, it's pretty much in pieces. The only piece that isn't laying right there would be this front piece, which is over here. What's nice about it is all held together with screws, so everything has been unscrewed and taken out. And this is the main control board, where all the magic happens. Your infrared sensors. These are dual H-bridge drivers for the two wheels. Got a power boost circuit up there. These little LEDs are what make the eye expressions. It's nice that they color-coded all their headers and pins, so when I go to plug things back in, I can. Up in the headpiece there is a microphone. That's for sensing when you tap on it or when you clap your hands. This foil piece, that's the antenna for the Bluetooth. The back, which I won't pick up because I've got screws resting in it, has the speaker for the talking and sound effects. Here's the battery tray, but it's all full of screws and stuff. Here's the eyepiece when it's off, so you can see how the LEDs can shine through all those slots to illuminate the different patterns that it had for expressions. Now the main thing is the wheels. If you go to take one of these apart, there's a plastic piece which fits in here that hides a screw, and once you've removed that plastic piece, you can then remove the screw, and then you can remove the wheel, like so. And then there's 4 more screws on the top. You can remove that. And now you're into the good part of it. The motor drive units, they have a 44 written on them, but I checked the gear ratio, and it takes 35.5 turns of this motor to do 1 revolution of the output shaft, so it's 35.5 to 1. Now these are optical sensors, position sensors. See the little slots right there? And there's be an infrared LED on one side and a detector on the other side, and that's directly on the motor shaft. It's a long shaft, comes through. So it can count the revolutions or position of the motor. Now I'm not sure if it needs to know the position of the motor for the balancing, because they use a gyro and device for that, but this might be for repositioning because these things are always moving, trying to balance. If it wanted to go back where it started, it would know that it needs to go X number of steps. I don't know. One of the advert videos I watched for it kind of showed using, if you weren't connected to Bluetooth, picking it up and turning the wheel, turning this, and it would change functions of the robot that way. So looks like they're using them for a lot of different things. So my plan was to try and use this just for some other sort of robot, design a different body or something. What I really wanted to do was to go to a different wheel side, a much smaller wheel, but not knowing exactly what the little opto counter wheel is being used for. If it's being used for the balance part, which is the only part I'm interested in having my robot function with, then I'm kind of screwed, I think. I mean, if I went to a wheel that was half the size of the original wheel, which is a very big wheel, then I guess I could go in there and just close off half of the slots, because then it would have to move twice as many rotations, or twice as many slot counts, let's say, for the one wheel rotation, if the wheel was half the size, for example. So I may experiment with that. My initial thought was if I had one of these, it'd be neat to make a little Vincent robot from the black hole and mount these motors at a 45 instead of flat, and then instead of a wheel, use like a rubber ball for traction. And but the ball's going to be so much smaller than these wheels, as you can see. So it's hard to say what would happen at that point. But at any rate, I thought you might want to see a peek inside one of these to see exactly what you've got. Obviously this is the main microcontroller there. But other than that, and there are some numbers on it, which, see how far this camera will go in focus. I think we're starting to lose focus there. And I'm not sure, maybe I have it upside down. I can't see with the viewfinder it is. I don't know what you're seeing. I believe that's upright, so you might be able to get a chip number off that. Pull something from that. Now I'm not sure if this is the Bluetooth connection chip or if that's the gyro acceleration chip. Don't know. I'm gonna kind of guess. You would think it might be the Bluetooth because that's where the connection for the antenna and everything was up here in the top. This is all up in the head part of the robot. So at any rate, if you saw my last video showing that the price had suddenly come back down on them again, I've been watching it all week to see if it was going to move in a cycle. It'll be interesting to see. Well, as of today, it was sitting at $20, so it'll be interesting to see if come tomorrow if it hits $18 or if it shoots back up to $68 to see if it's just moving in like an 8-day cycle or something. Because when I first noticed it was 8 days ago, it was a Sunday, and it was at 20, and that's when I ordered this one, and it had next day delivery, and I did receive it on Monday. And Monday morning is when I put a video out letting everyone know the price was so low on this self-balancing robot. You might want to grab one while you can. And by the very next day, the price had already changed. Same seller, same link. It changed like up to $68. So I kept watching it, and after a few days, it was down at $25. And then another day or two, it was down to $22. And then just today, which is 6/3/2024, it was down to 20. So like I say, we'll have to see tomorrow if it drops down to 18 or if it jumps back up to 64. But the other thing that kind of changed as I was watching through the week was the delivery. If you know somebody who has Prime, when I ordered mine, it was next day delivery, and they did it. And while I was watching through the week, it looked like the delivery next day wasn't a possible thing. It was like 4 or 5 day delivery was the quickest. So I didn't know if it was coming from China at that point or what. But today it says back to next day. We'll see what all that says come tomorrow.